The Dallas Mavericks are going to exercise patience with their superstar as they get ready to end the preseason and get ready for the real thing on October 24th against the San Antonio Spurs. Kevin Gray here. Appreciate you joining me here on my YouTube channel at Kevin Gray Sports. Make sure you follow me on X at Kevin Gray Sports as well, where I cover the Dallas Mavericks on DLLS Mavs for DLLS Sports 5 times a week with my guys Bobby Carella, Tim Cato, and the legendary Mark Stein. Speaking of legends, a legendary career in the making for Luka Doncic as he gets ready to try to help the Mavericks get back to the NBA Finals like they did a year ago. Luka Doncic getting back on the practice floor for the first time in 2 weeks as he's been dealing with a left calf contusion. He's not going to play in the preseason at all after Jason Kidd said that he will not play in the preseason finale against the Milwaukee Bucks, which means the first time we will see Luka Doncic on the floor since the NBA Finals in an NBA game will be the opening night game against the San Antonio Spurs on October 24th in Dallas at the American Airlines Center, where we will have a chance to finally see the big three of Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and of course, new addition Klay Thompson. But the Mavericks exercising caution and patience with its superstar who's going to be an MVP candidate this year. And most importantly, the Mavericks have to exercise patience collectively as a team as they move forward in building this new group around Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and as I mentioned, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, and Derek Lively already looking in midseason form. And one of the things that I've learned so far this preseason is that it appears these guys are in really good shape when we're talking about P.J. Washington, when we're talking about Derek Lively, when we're also talking about Kyrie Irving, who was really good in their second preseason game against the Utah Jazz. Klay Thompson's had an up and down preseason so far. Really good against the Jazz, where he's able to make a few threes, especially in that second quarter. Not great at all when they faced the Los Angeles Clippers when they opened up the Intuit Dome, where Klay Thompson went 0 from the field and from the three-point line. But at the same time, there shouldn't be long-term concerns about Klay Thompson's ability to knock down shots. Not a lot of spacing on the floor there was when they took on the Los Angeles Clippers. That won't be the case when Luka and Kyrie are on the floor together with Klay Thompson. Shots abound, should be open for Klay to be able to knock down. And most importantly, Jason Kidd uses a word that I'll use here when it comes to this team, whether it was acquiring Kyrie Irving and working out the kinks when the Mavericks initially went 5-11 before they eventually, of course, went to the NBA Finals last year. That word is patience. Patience with Klay Thompson and his transition to the Mavericks. Patience with Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and Klay Thompson developing the chemistry and trust together, learning where Klay wants to get the ball on the floor to be able to make the kind of shots that will help him make the difference for this Mavericks team that they needed him last year to be when he wasn't on this team, obviously, when they lost to the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. Patience when it comes to Derek Lively and his second year as well. We're expecting a massive leap for him in his sophomore year, and has showed strides of that already with new wrinkles and develops in his offensive game, showing a little bit of offensive versatility with sky hooks and jump hooks in the lane, and we know what kind of defensive monster that he's going to be. Patience with PJ Washington, as you saw in the Clippers game, going to be asked to attack in the open floor by pushing the ball in transition when he has the opportunities to. The coast-to-coast dunk that he had showed that he is progressing in that area, also showing some offensive versatility by putting James Harden on the block and making a jump hook over him off the glass. Versatility is going to be the name of the game for Washington on both ends of the floor, where he's going to be expected to guard the best player every single night on the opposing team, while also providing the ability to push the ball in transition, knock down open threes when he has the opportunities to, and be sort of a Swiss Army knife when it comes to everything that the Mavericks want him to do on both ends of the floor. Patience when it comes to Najee Marshall and Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes had 20 points in the game against the Los Angeles Clippers. All of these things will take time, and for the Mavericks, for all the expectations that they have this upcoming year, you and I will have to exercise that word again, patience when it comes to this team. Yes, this team will get every single punch from every team every single night as they look to try to dethrone what is the Western Conference, defending Western Conference champion Dallas Mavericks. Let's take a quick break here, and let's hear from today's sponsor of our video, and let's hear from Aura.
Today's video is sponsored by Aura. This year has seen a number of high-profile data breaches raising serious concerns about personal information security. Dell suffered a breach exposing 3.9 million customer records, including sensitive personal information. AT&T disclosed 2 breaches, one affecting approximately 2.5 million customers and another one impacting 9 million customers. And finally, Ticketmaster experienced a massive customer breach affecting over 560 million customer records. But most alarming of all, just a few months ago, National Public Data announced that they had suffered a major breach potentially affecting every American. The incident compromised over 2.9 billion records used for background checks, including critical personal information such as full names, addresses, date of birth, phone numbers, and most importantly, social security numbers. It has been confirmed the members of the hacker group have released this sensitive information online for free. If you haven't been taking your online personal information seriously, now is the time to change that. You're more vulnerable than ever in today's digital landscape. Thankfully, I feel secure because I use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to alert you about potential identity theft. They also provide up to $5 million in identity theft insurance in case the worst ever happens. Plus, Aura offers a variety of other features to keep you safe online, including real-time alerts for data breaches, a VPN for secure browsing, data broker opt-out to stop companies from selling your personal information, a password manager to help you create and store strong passwords. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/Kevin Gray to try 2 weeks for free. That will be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed.
But here is Jason Kidd discussing the plan for Luka Doncic, as again, he will be the focal point, obviously, as the leading MVP candidate going into this year, about the Mavericks are working with and how they will move forward with Luka Doncic, not only for the rest of this preseason, but as he gets ready for the regular season as well. Take a listen and watch.
No, it's not a, it's it is what it is. He practiced today. We move forward from what he did today. A lot of positive for him to go through the whole practice. He looked good. To your point, he did not forget how to play basketball. And so his ability to be able to make plays for others, for himself, he looked good. And we were all happy to see him out there. Klay, Kai did the whole practice. They were great. So a lot of good stuff today.
So Jason Kidd saying, look, Luka Doncic hasn't forgotten how to play basketball, but it was obviously good to get him on the practice floor to be able to work with these guys. And as you saw a little bit earlier, getting competitive with Derek Lively in practice as well, which is a really good thing if you're the Mavericks. Yes, what we have loved to have seen Luka in the preseason get on the floor as the projected starting 5 with Luka, Kyrie, PJ Washington, obviously with Klay Thompson and Derek Lively II. What we have loved to have seen that? Sure, I would definitely love to have seen that. But the most important thing is that Luka is healthy by the time the Mavericks get on the floor, and with them opening up the season on October 24th, a couple of days after the initial opening night of the NBA, it is that much more time and rest for the MVP candidate to be able to get his body right, to be able to enter this season as healthy as he can, because that is going to be the name of the game, as it is with every single team in the league. How healthy can you be, and the availability for your superstars by the time you get to March and April and into the playoffs, and how you manage that throughout the course of the regular season. The depths will be tested, as we've seen so far with the Mavericks dealing with injuries when it comes to Dante Exum. We've seen inconsistent play so far from Spencer Dinwiddie, but as long as we're talking about the top 7 to 8 guys, we mentioned the starting 5, and then others like Daniel Gafford, Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, who have had an impressive preseason so far, that is what's going to be key for this team to get out of the gate and start well. A tough schedule to start off with, but at the same time, 7 of their first 9 games at home will give them a chance to get on solid ground and footing in what will be a treacherous Western Conference this year. But again, the word is going to be patience when it comes to this team, especially when you look at Klay Thompson and how he's going to be utilized within this offense. And hopefully he will provide the kind of defense that he's capable of, even at this stage in his career at 34 years old after 13 seasons, to be a plus on that end, because we know what kind of offense he's going to provide. He and Luka Doncic were 2 of the 5 guys that made the most three-pointers last year in the association. If they are close to that this year, obviously with Kyrie Irving, who had a sensational year last season, this team should be right where they want to by the time we get to the postseason. But all of it starts with you and I exercising a little bit of patience. And if we can, as Jason Kidd says, this team will be exactly where they want to, pursuing another chance to get back to the NBA Finals. But so much will be developing over the next week and a half as the Mavericks get ready for the regular season, concluding the preseason, and then it's time for real basketball. And for one, I cannot wait to see what this team does throughout the course of the season, and most importantly, how they are led by 77 and his ability to galvanize this roster to make another run at getting to the NBA Finals and hopefully getting over the hump this time as well. You can find me on X at Kevin Gray Sports. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my video here on Kevin Gray Sports on YouTube. And again, you can catch me on DLLS Mavs, on DLLS Sports, covering the Mavericks 5 times a week here for all things for your Dallas Mavericks. I'll talk to you later. Peace.